Hey guys, welcome to another computer graphics tutorial. This is part 2 of our 2D transformation in computer graphics, and we'll be learning about rotation today. So let's get started. So what are we going to learn? First, we'll start with introduction to 2D rotation in computer graphics, and then we'll look at 2D rotation along origin as a pivot point. All right. So a 2D rotation is applied to an object by repositioning it along a circular path in XY plane. Okay, so the key term over here being the circular path. Okay, now to generate a rotation, we mentioned two parameters. First is the rotation angle, that is angle at which we want the object to be rotated, and position of the rotation point or the pivot point. Okay, so today we'll be looking at pivot point as origin or origin as a pivot point. Okay, so let's say we have got our point P over here. Okay, this is our point P. Okay, and its coordinates are x comma y. Fine. And this is our origin point over here. It is 0 comma 0. Fine. Now if we want to rotate this point P with an angle, let's say B, from this position to here. Okay, so if we draw a line from the origin to our point P, this distance is, let's say, r, that is radius. Even if we rotate it with any angle, the distance is going to remain same, that is constant, from the origin to the point P. So even if we rotate it, the distance is going to remain same. That's why we had mentioned that it is along a circular path. Okay, so if we rotate it like this to whichever angle, it is still going to remain as the radius. That is, we consider this as the origin, as the radius center of the circle, and this distance as radius of the circle. Okay, now the coordinates are x comma y over here, correct, for point P. And if we draw a line from point P directly perpendicular to your x axis, then this is going to be at a right angle, correct, and this distance is going to be y. Why? Because it is x comma y. Similarly, this distance is going to be x. Okay, now if we form a right angle triangle like this, and this angle, let's call it angle A. Okay, we can use phi and theta, but it causes a lot of confusion. That's why I used A and B, okay, for simplicity. Now if we are using the cos formula, that is cos A, that is this angle over here, is equal to the adjacent side, which is your the adjacent side, that is x upon r. That is, since this is a right angle, we are getting x divided by r. Now if we want x it in terms of x, then x becomes cos A multiplied by r, correct, cos A multiplied by r. Similarly, if we do the same thing for y, that is sin A is equal to y divided by r. That is, y is the opposite side of this angle A, correct? So if you want it in terms of y, then we get it as y is equal to r into sin A. Okay, so you can write it as cos A multiplied by r, or you can write it as r multiplied by cos A. It's one and the same thing. Okay, so let's call this equation number 1 and this equation number 2. All right, now same thing if you want to do, that is after reposition, we'll have the coordinates x dash comma y dash, correct, and this distance, that is if we draw a straight line from this point P down over here, then this distance is going to be y dash, correct, and this distance is going to be x dash. Which distance? This distance is going to be x dash. If you want to calculate the value of y dash and x dash, we can use the same formula, but here the angle has changed. Now it is going to be A and B. We have to add both of them and we have to get it right. So let's write it down like this: cos A plus B. Okay, A plus B is equal to, instead of x, we'll write now x dash. Okay, x dash divided by r. R is going to remain constant as we have seen. Okay, similarly for sin A plus B, it is going to be y dash divided by r. Okay, now we are calculating it for this triangle. Let's just change the color. Okay, let's use green color. All right, so first we saw it for this triangle. Now we'll look it for this triangle over here from the new position. Okay, Now if we solve this equation, we get x dash is equal to r cos a plus b, correct? Now cos a plus b, we can solve the equation and we'll get cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, correct? So cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Okay. Now similarly y dash, if we solve sin a plus b, we get sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Sin a cos b, sorry, you have to write r over here. Yeah, r sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. That is, when we solve sin a plus b, we get sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Okay. Now if we multiply r over here, what is the value of x dash that we get? We get x dash is equal to r cos a cos b minus r sin a sin b, correct? And y dash we get as r sin a cos b plus r cos a sin b. Okay. Now if you see over here, this r cos a, as we have seen in equation number 1, we can write it as x. That's why our x dash is going to be r cos a as x, we write over here, x cos b minus this r sin a over here, we can write it as y sin b. Similarly for y dash, we get r sin a is y over here and multiplied by cos b, y cos b plus r cos a is x. So x sin b. Okay. So we have got our new values of our x dash and y dash. That is a formula to calculate x dash and y dash. Let's just write it over here. Yeah. So as per our formula, x dash is equal to x cos b minus y sin b, and y dash is equal to y cos b plus x sin b. Okay. Now, so basically if we are provided your x coordinate then and y coordinate, that is the original point P, and you are provided this angle, that is angle at which you want it to rotate, that is angle B, then you can get the new values of x dash and y dash using this formula. X cos b minus y sin b, you're going to get your x coordinate, and y cos b plus x sin b, you're going to get your y coordinate. Okay. Now you can write it in terms of a matrix form also. Okay. So with this same formula you can use and write it in terms of matrix. How you write it? So let's say your P dash is the new position, correct? Is equal to P, that is original position, multiplied by rotation matrix, where R is equal to, we have got in a formula cos B minus sin B, and this cos B, sorry, sin B, you can write it either way, sin B and cos B. So if you multiply your original x coordinate and y coordinate to this, like this, then you are going to get your new P dash. Okay, you are going to get your P dash. So instead of R, let's just write it as P dash, and this is your R and this is your P. So this is how we write it in terms of matrix form. Okay. So I hope you got this concept. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Thank you very much. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any queries, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions, please write them in the comment section below. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.